I like that song.
Thank you.
What a nice way to say thanks.
Thank you.
Hey folks, it's 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
Tell him thanks this morning in a joyful way
Thank you
for waking you up.
for saving me. Thank you, Father, for loving me. Thank you, Father, for holding me. Thank you.
The Lady Janice Charles.
Thank you.
Got to establish some connection with Janice, huh? We've got to do a collab. Pastor Janice Charles, Minister Janice Charles, call her what you want. She's a daughter of the soil and she's making waves.
More than I ever,
Grenada, Grenada, Grenada.
more than I ever conceded. Thank you.
Wonder if I'll be permitted to use some colloquial language here.
Thank you. More
Maybe I shouldn't try that this morning. I'll get blue.
than
Yeah, Veronica Sandy says good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you.
you.
Mary Ebanks also. Catherine Phillips says good morning, innocent. Have a great day today. I will. And Rochelle says good morning, Grenada. God bless our nation. We well bless. You see Garnan's Beach making headlines again. Good morning, 25 minutes on to the hour of 7. Yeah, that is the time. My good friend, Mr. Arthur Langai, and good morning to you. How's New York this morning, bro? I hope all is well, all right? Good, nice, nice. How are you doing so far for the morning? Is everything okay? I sincerely hope so. Had a good night's rest? Let me tell you something about the night time, all right? The night time, if you're working 8 to 4, if you're not working, in the night you should rest. In the night is not the time to worry about what will happen and what could happen tomorrow, okay? Or what happened yesterday. Get your sleep, okay? It's so very important. Put it down, leave it there. As the Bajans would say, left it. Good morning to you, Miss Phyllis. How are you this morning? Is everything all right? Good, nice. 24 minutes on to 7. Let's get into the program. Get with the program, all right? And it's time for the word of the day. And the word of the day is a word. It's a verb today. It's an action word. It is a doing word, all right? It's the word enthrall. 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 An enthrall means to hold the attention of someone by being very exciting, interesting, or beautiful, or in other words, to charm. It is often used in its past participle form, as in, I was enthralled by the beauty of the landscape. So again, the word of the day, enthrall. Enthrall. Here's how we can use it in a sentence, all right? A captivating take on the human experience, the movie has enthralled audiences across the country. Write it down, jot it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it, learn to use it. Good night. Good morning to the folks on the sister isles of Petite Martinique and Carriacou. Mr. Lugan and your committee, how are we doing this morning? I understand from all indications you had a very successful event over the weekend. Good morning to you, Gailey. How you do? Gail Aki Menard. How is Jonah this morning? Give him my regards, all right? Shondell and Cheryl, good morning also. Yeah, nice. Mr. Patrick Kajo and family, morning. Deedin and Devon. Kim Mills, the king. All right, let me not get stuck in this because we have to head into the AM edition of news. Let's get into Nadisha's favorite part of the program, the thought of the day. And it's, you may find the worst enemy or best friend in yourself. you may find the worst enemy or best friend in yourself. Be your best friend today. Love you. Nobody else can love you the way you are supposed to love you, right? A lot of times we wonder why we're being treated a particular way, and it's because we're not loving ourselves. So if we don't love ourselves, who will love us? You know what I'm saying? Love you first. There's an ex of mine, when I said love you baby, she said love you, love me too. Love me too, eh? All right. Okay, good. Let's get into it. Nice. Buzzing this morning, of course, the Maggie King of the Grill comes off on the 29th of July at the Man Rouge playing field. Be a part of it. As a matter of fact, I passed by my good friend, the reigning grill master, the grill champion. I passed by him yesterday, and he is ready to retain his title. M&N Mini Mart. Morning. All you good? Nice. Inside a Woburn. Good. Okay. Buzzing also, the International Monetary Fund has advised the government of Grenada not to continue a tax amnesty program that it implemented in January 1st, 2023. The program is scheduled to conclude on December 31st of this year. So IMF says stop it. The amnesty thing, stop it. Okay? Good, nice. Also, high prices, high demand, and low supply. That's the challenge facing the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, prompted a plea for more nutmeg production. Yeah? Yeah, produce more. As my morning Uncle Glyden, yesterday I mentioned Uncle Cosmos' name. And, he gave me the story of this foreign advisor they brought to advise them on the nutmeg industry in Grenada. And when he heard that the price of maize, I think at the time, was $3 a pound, and the price of the nutmeg seed was, I think, 50 cents or something, the well-educated advisor or consultant, he said, well, what I can advise you is to cut down the nutmegs and plant maize. Yeah. Okay, good morning to Mr. Sam Joe, former Extension Officer, Agriculture Enthusiast. Good morning, bro. Hold strong, okay? All right, the problem surrounding the Molyneux Road project came under the microscope yesterday, with former Infrastructure Minister calling out the new administration's management of the project as the cause for the delay and other issues. Yeah, I heard Mr. Senator Nolan Cox yesterday on the program. And I have to talk about something this morning, we'll talk about it later. Okay, we have this problem, and I don't know why, but we have this statement here. The police are seeking the assistance of the general public in locating Shania Clark, a 15-year-old student of Cal East in St. George. She's approximately 5 feet 6 inches in height, slim built, brown in complexion, brown eyes with a short natural hairstyle. Shania left her residence on Tuesday, May 16, 2023, and has not returned since. Anyone seeing Shania or has any information about her whereabouts is kindly asked to contact the Central Police Station at 440-2244, the police hotline at 444-1958, or the nearest police station. All right? Oh my goodness. And finally on the buzz this morning, the death toll from last week's fire at the dormitory of the secondary school in Guyana. It claimed a 20th life yesterday after a 13-year-old schoolgirl died at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. This one is sad. This one is sad. Charges are being laid against a student of the school. I think it's 15 years old. She's being charged as an adult. May God have mercy. What are we coming to, huh? All right. Folks, it's time for us to run off to that commercial break that would lead us into the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather here in Classic. For those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Even Courtney says, good morning, Grenada. And Jackson says, morning, Grenada. Never stop making news, good or bad. Desmond Clovey, good morning, everyone. And Jackson, will you organize a party to help the poor? Who, me? Nadra McNeely, good morning, GBN, and good morning, Grenada. God bless you. And Mark, IMF did not say stop. It said in the future. Okay. All right, that's another story. Folks, we've got to take that break. We've got to head off to the AM edition of News Sports and the Weather. Stick and stay with us because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. To life that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening from the Grenada Broadcasting Network. I'm Kenroy Batiste. Disturbing and scary is how one nurse has termed the discovery of a firearm within the walls of the Mungay Psychiatric Hospital. The firearm was discovered in the belongings of a patient who is the son of a well-known businessman. It is reported that the gun was delivered to the patient in a parcel containing other items. Assistant Superintendent of Police Simon Douglas described the incident as a case in which the firearm was mistakenly placed in the bag. He said the firearm is licensed and the owner purportedly packed it into the bag by error. According to police, sometime after delivering the bag, the owner searched and could not find the firearm, so he reported it to the police. The person receiving the bag observed the firearm in it and handed it over to a nurse. GBN understands that this incident is the latest among a number of concerning episodes which have left the staff questioning their safety within the walls of the Mungay Psychiatric Hospital. GBN Newsroom contacted Permanent Secretary with responsibility for the Mungay Psychiatric Hospital, Naomi Jeremiah, but we were informed that no comment could be given at this time. GBN will continue to follow this developing story. Now, one family is in dismay as one male member is dead while the other is in police custody. Here's what we can tell you. Officers within the Community Relations Department of the RGPF have confirmed that 36-year-old Noford Smith, a construction worker of River Sally St. Patrick, is the latest homicide victim in Grenada. According to information reaching GBN, Smith succumbed to a chop wound to his neck on Sunday following an altercation with his cousin, identified as Neron Chaitan, also known as Chucky. The incident happened in an area called Thunder in River Sally St. Patrick at around 1 in the afternoon. Some residents and family members said they were shocked to hear about the altercation, as both men were together with friends most of the morning period at the nearby boiling spring, cooking, drinking, and laughing with each other. Police have indicated that no charges have been laid to date in connection with Sunday's incident. This brings to 9 the number of homicides in 2023 so far. Other news, the International Monetary Fund has advised the government of Grenada not to continue a tax amnesty program that it implemented on January 1, 2023. The program is scheduled to conclude on December 31, 2023. We get more in this Nisha Peters report.
tax amnesty was announced in the presentation of the 2023 budget statement by then Finance Minister Deacon Mitchell, who explained that millions were outstanding in taxes, late fees, and penalties, and the amnesty was aimed at settling money owing to the government. However, the International Monetary Fund has advised the government of Grenada not to continue a tax amnesty program implemented on 1st January and scheduled to conclude on 31st December 2023. Hudden Lin, IMF Mission Chief for Grenada, in the just concluded Article 4 consultation of the IMF's Article of Agreement, said the government will have to enforce stronger collection policies.
By only saying it's not enough, the government will have to illustrate the stronger enforcement in collecting the tax. This will really signal that we want to strengthen the enforcement, and there's no concern. I guess you're concerned about the moral hazard issue, and we hear very, very strong commitment from the finance minister that it will be the last one.
The mission chief advised that this should be the last tax amnesty.
We emphasized several times to the government that this one should be the last one. Not only from the government's perspective, this is last one. It should be very deeply in people's mind, and those who are owing tax to the government, this is the last one.
Ms. Lin went on to say that there has been significant improvement over the years in regards to tax collection.
We have been engaging with authorities on that matter for a while. It has been improving, and as you can see that the tax collection in the first quarter and in the past year, it has been quite good and in line with what you can see from the nominal GDP growth. That said, a lot of still there's some room for improvement in our tax collection.
She further highlighted some measures that can be utilized by the government to ensure better tax collection.
The administration office, they could also utilize some indicators to see whether there might be some risks in the tax collection by comparing the collection against the local activity, and that would be, for instance, imply for imports, etc., and to see early signal of possible tax not being collected and go after them.
The IMF mission chief for Grenada made the statements during a news conference on Friday. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
High prices, high demand, and low supply. The challenge facing the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association prompted a plea for more nutmeg production. Cherry and Blackman Stephen has this report.
Chairman of the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, Leo Keto, is encouraging nutmeg farmers to increase production. Grenada does not have a challenge to sell its nutmegs on the international market. The challenge is that there isn't enough to satisfy the demand.
The challenge we face now is that the price we receive today is much better than the price that we got last year for Grenada's nutmegs. But we do not have the volume of nutmegs to sell to take advantage of the present price.
He said the way ahead is not all gloomy and dark. There is a silver lining that they must look for and work towards. But they must get there working together as an association.
There was once in time when Grenada easily produced 2 million pounds of nutmeg. Easily. But we have struggled since Ivan.
Keto thanked government for working to improve road access, which is also key to increasing production. Agriculture Minister Lennox Andrews also encouraged increasing production, but expressed dismay in learning that the demand for nutmeg is there, but farmer supply is inadequate to meet such demands.
GCNA found itself without nutmegs, even though the market price had improved significantly. And that, to me, my friends, it is somewhat worrying, because we can imagine what would have been the returns to the industry if the supplies were available.
Mr. Andrew called attention to the association's accounting records and projections.
Did you see any recording a net deficit of over $650,000? The demand for nutmeg on the international market is projected in 2023 to grow at a compound annual rate of 4.1%. This is good. This is good for Grenada.
The GCNA meeting took place at the Deluxe Cinema last Thursday. Cherry and Blackman, Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, Leo Cato, announced his pending departure as chairman of the association. Mr. Cato is encouraging farmers to give their support to the next chairman of the GCNA.
I have not sold my lands. I will always be a nutmeg farmer. I will always attend the meetings of the association. But at times, you must know when it's time to pass the baton. My best wishes to the next board, because I have decided, even though I was encouraged to do otherwise, I have decided that I would not be coming up for nomination to the board. The board will have my support, as it always has.
Television Center, the problems surrounding the Molyneux Road project came under the microscope today, with the former infrastructure minister calling out the new administration's management of the project as the cause of the issues. Runapet Thomas reports.
Former Minister for Infrastructure Nolan Cox says that the current issues faced with the Molyneux land slippage project are due to poor judgment made by the NDC-led government when they first entered office.
When the government came to power, the consulting firm that we have who did work with all the designs and who was managing or supervising the project, they were removed from the project. All right, they were written and asked to remove from the project. So they were basically fired. No, they didn't understand what that meant. No, you take away the key person who is going to help, is going to be guiding the contractor to implement the project. The company who actually prepared the designs, you ask them to leave. So what happened is that they now rely on the engineers in the Ministry of Infrastructure to do the supervision, and that is where everything went wrong. But what we've learned recently, they have now asked the consultant to come back.
Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, in a press briefing on May 22nd, explained that although government is committed to completing this significant project, some of the conditions have changed from when it was initially conceptualized.
It is a challenging site. The rock surface, some of it is not even rock, is very unstable. If you go there, you can actually stand and see the soil constantly falling. So we have to sort this issue out. When we sort this issue out, then we can think of the larger Western Main Road corridor, which is why once it became clear to us that we obviously were attempting to keep the grant funding in place, that our focus should really be on the water expansion project, because there was no impediments to solving that. When the UKSIF grant was made available for the Western Main Road, there was no Molyneux landslip, I think, at the time. And so obviously it was granted and agreed on the assumption that we were just going to do the normal works along the Western Main Road. And since the Molyneux landslip, that's an additional part of it that is distinct and separate, that we locally funding to make sure that we can get it done.
The former infrastructure minister contended, however, that some of the challenges being experienced are as a result of the decisions taken by the new administration.
If you notice, there is significant excavation on the slope. Yeah. Those excavations were not to ever happen. All right, that was not to happen. The slope, because of the slope, the unsteadiness of the slope, there was a particular type technique that was going to be applied to stable the slope using what they call geotextile wrapping. I'm going to all the technical stuff, but that was not to happen. So They started cutting, and the slope became more unstable. And so that is the challenge of the project. The project has significant cost overruns right now.
Senator Cox was a guest on GBN's To The Point program on Tuesday. GBN has sought further clarification from key persons involved in the project, but was told that they are presently reviewing the project with government officials, and as such, an interview will need to be rescheduled for a later date. For GBN News, I am Rena Pat Thomas reporting.
The story, St. David's Carnival organizers are promising to make this year better than previous years. Christina John attended the launch on Sunday.
It's my job there's no ribbon to cut, but to officially declare the Virgin Parish Carnival season launch open. So I'm happy to do so. Congratulations to the organizers, and I officially declare the St. David's Carnival season open 2023.
That was Prime Minister and MP for St. David, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, at the official launch of Virgin Parish St. David Carnival on Sunday. As part of activities for the Parish Carnival launch, a street parade was held from Latent Junction to Malmont to Big Yard. Prime Minister Mitchell promised to support the bands in the parish.
St. David is integral to the success of Grenada's National Carnival. Whether it's the Queen Show, whether it's Soca Monarch, whether it's Calypso, whether it's some of the traditional masks, St. David's has always played a leading role in ensuring that Carnival in Grenada is a success. And so the early launch of our Carnival in May is testimony to our commitment to making sure that Carnival 2023 is a success both in St. David and in Grenada. And so I give you my own commitment as your MP to support all of the initiatives in St. David.
He also called on Spice Mass Corporation to encourage the preservation of traditional mass.
Members of the Spice Mass Corporation Board, we need a lot more emphasis on ensuring that we can preserve and teach our traditional masks like the Wild Indian, the Veko, the Shortney, and we used to have the Corinth Steel Orchestra in Corinth. So we need to make sure that we work on bringing back our steel pan to St. David's as well. So that's one of the charge I'm giving to the Spice Mass Corporation to work with us in St. David's and the organizing committee to make sure that we can get the steel pan in our schools and get it back up and running.
Christopher Phillip, member of the Spice Mass Corporation Board, gave their commitment to ensure the theme for this year's carnival, Spice Mass, the Evolution, is realized.
We have chosen the theme Spice Mass, the Evolution, and as part of the evolution, we encourage initiatives like this to allow us to propel Carnival into the future. And we at the corporation will try our very best to support the initiatives of St. David's to allow the evolution to become a reality.
Public Relations Officer of the Virgin Parish Cultural Organization, Kerry Williams, said they're all about promoting the culture.
A lot of the artists that you see now, Natty and Thunder, Muddy and Squeezehead, Lil Kerry, they all started on this platform, St. David's Carnival launch, St. David's Soca Monarch. And one thing you'll notice about St. David's people, we support our own. This year, we decided to try a street parade from Latent Junction. So we had some of the Veko from St. Mark, because what we do, we liaise with the different carnival committees. So if St. Mark said they're launching next week, some of us from this committee will definitely be there. We have some committee members from St. Andrew coming down in a bit. So what we try to do, we try to support each other's launch.
The 2023 National Queen contestant for St. David, Miss Amoni Francis, and various soca and calypso artists made guest appearances. Christina John, GBN News.
Well, it was an evening filled with entertainment as some young and aspiring models took to the stage in a display of beauty and talent. Organizers of Little Miss, and Mr. Grenada said they are satisfied with the outcome of this year's event, and the support of sponsors did not go unnoticed.
I feel great. I thought that I would have came third or second, but I did not have faith in first when I saw all the contestants. Well, if just don't give up, just keep on pushing.
Little Miss Grenada, Jayla McMillan, speaking to GBN following her royal walk to victory, encouraging her peers to never give up. Jayla McMillan and Jaden St. John have been crowned Little Miss and Mr. Grenada 2023. Jayla won in the categories of Best Talent, Evening Wear, and Best Interview. In second place was Anelia Phillip, Miss St. Patrick, and third was Angel Allard, Miss St. David. Apart from his first place in the male category, Jaden also won Best Talent, Interview, Future Wear, and Sportswear. Second was Malik John of Moncton, followed by Richard Williams of Grand Mall in third place. In the other categories, Zion James and Malik John captured the titles of Miss and Mr. Photogenic, respectively. Miss St. Patrick Anelia Phillip won Best Introduction and Best Future Wear in the female category, while Malik John won Best Introduction. The People's Choice Award went to Jayla McMillan and Malik John. This award was sponsored by Ride Along. This was the fourth edition of the Little Miss Grenada pageant, with the male component added for the first time this year. The event was staged at the Grenada Trade Center on Sunday. Jermaine Simon, Superstar, is the main organizer.
It's actually a lot of work, but finally it is over. And I mean, we went based on a time, we have certain hiccups, contestant may stay a little bit longer, but all in all, the show was fantastic, and the contestants enjoyed themselves. And of course, the people, they really enjoyed themselves too. I have to thank all the sponsors for making this show possible. Your sponsorship have been grateful, and the kids, of course, we really want to do something for them. It's not for us, but we want to make sure that the kids get, use their skills, use their talents, and I want to thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it.
Christelina John, GBN News.
All right, it's time to take a peek through the GBN ISO lens as we continue to feature future career professionals. Let's see which school is in the spotlight.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clearvision.
The future businessmen and women, doctors, chefs, and more are the highlights of tonight's GBN ISO. During an exciting career day on Friday, the Tiny Tots at the Christian Union Preschool at St. George's Estate in Lamoud dressed up in outfits depicting their future career choices. As careers in technology and the creative economy become more prevalent, one student stood out for dressing as a virtual assistant. He was equipped with a camera to carry out his duties. We thank our citizen journalists for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Rhythms of Spice is back Sunday, June 11, 3 p.m. at Mount Cinnamon Lawn. A spicy, classy explosion of Grenadian talent featuring Project Music, Fahrenheit, Zorina Andel, Godson Brown, Cool Jazz Band, Angel Hobbs, Tivoli Dancers, and special guest Tony Paul and Vonette Bickford from Trinidad. Rhythms of Spice, June 11, 3 p.m. Mount Cinnamon Lawn. Tickets $50 on sale at Grenadian Optical, St. George's, Art and Soul, Spiceland Mall, Gittins Pharmacy in Granville, and Go to Fed. More at the door. Children 12 and under free. Sponsors: Grenada Tourism Authority, Ministry of Culture, Kalinago Hotel, Hubbard's, GBN, Boss FM, Real FM, HD Sounds, Danny D, Bridens, Independence Agencies, Gabriel's Rental, Cafe Skyline, and Comon Medical. Walk with your picnic chairs and beach towels.
Shop at 7
Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras ranging from solar cameras with or without lights, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4th channel, 8 channels, 16 channels, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, wall lamp or bulb, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality product. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook today.
Sisson's WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Tune in to GBN Television and Classic Radio on May 31st at 7 p.m. for another thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating edition of the ECCB's 40th Anniversary Lecture Series, which is being held under the theme, The Colorful Economy. Join Chairman of the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Committee, Mr. Richard Duncan, OBE, and Chairman of Antillian Inc., Dr. Angus Friday, MD, MBA, as they discuss medical tourism, prerequisites and prospects, blue, orange, and green economies. The Grenada edition of the ECCB's 40th Anniversary Lecture Series will be moderated by media personality and event host, Miss Brenda Batiste. This highly anticipated lecture series is for everyone, from tourism planners, workers, and investors, as well as medical practitioners and tourists alike. If you have an interest in developing medical tourism right here at home, or would simply like to learn more about the growing industry, then be sure to catch what will likely be a lively discussion. Due to limited space at the venue, you are encouraged to join virtually by tuning in to GBN Television and Classic Radio or via the ECCB Connect Facebook page or YouTube channel.
On Caribbean Passport, it's time to tour St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Planning a destination wedding? Well, Barbados is more than a beach getaway. And let's enjoy delicious cuisine from Chef Chris De La Rosa, right here on this station.
On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m. you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 get you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
All right, welcome viewers and listeners. Welcome to the conversation this morning. It's 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. And just a recap of what transpired thus far. The word of the day today. For some reason, I'm having tongue twisters this morning. Maybe I need to have a sip of coffee. Lovely. Good. All right. The word of the day, enthrall, and it means to hold the attention of someone by being very exciting, interesting, or beautiful, or in other words, to charm. It is often used in its past participle form, as in, I was enthralled by the beauty of the landscape. And the thought of the day, you may find your worst enemy or best friend in yourself. That's a nice one. Okay, buzzing this morning. Of course, you know the Maggie King of the Grill comes up on the 29th of July at the Montrouge Plainfield. And also buzzing, the IMF has advised the government of Grenada not to continue a tax amnesty program that it implemented in January 2023. Now, the program is scheduled to conclude on December 31st, 2023. Also buzzing, high prices, high demand, and loose supply. We heard that the outgoing chairman of the board of the GCNA, Leo Cato, he stated the challenge facing the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, and he pleaded out for more nutmeg production. But at the same time, in a different news item, he was warning of the bad practice of wetting the nutmegs, all right, to gain weight. All right. Also yesterday, the problem surrounding the Molyneux Road project, it came under the microscope with former Infrastructure Minister, Senator Nolan Cox. He called out what the new administration's management of the project as the cause of the issues surrounding it presently. All right, we've seen another teen gone missing, Shania Clark of Caliste in St. George. She left home on Tuesday, the 16th of May, and has not returned since. Now, anyone having any knowledge or the whereabouts of Shania, please call 440-2244, the police hotline at 444-1958, or the nearest police station. All right? And also buzzing this morning, we heard of the death of another student of the secondary school in Guyana. All right, 13-year-old girl died yesterday. Okay, so these are the stories that are buzzing this morning. Now, there are two that stand out in my head. Firstly, I don't know what's happening, but in recent times, I'm seeing a plethora of missing young people and most cases young girls. What's really happening here? This one is bothersome as a parent. She left home on the 16th. Today's the 31st. Yesterday was the 30th. Okay? Why so long? You know, and where is she? All right? We have quite a number of cases. We had quite a number of cases like that in the past, and eventually they were found. Now, when they're found, where were they found? All right? I would like some explanation on that, because the public assist in locating. The media houses go out and they put out the information. Now, we would like to know how and where, you know, because we... Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. How you do? I decided to open up the batting because I know the bowling is tough.
Yes, good.
I'm a good defense batsman. So.
You too.
Now, I'll tell you something. I have two things to deal with. The fire in Guyana and the Ukraine war. But
okay.
That's a long story, so I'm going to deal with the fire in Guyana. No, I have been following these stories very, very closely. And I've been following the politics in the Caribbean very, very closely. And those things tying together. Now, when you pay attention to the behavior of, and I'm saying it raw as it is because see, I'm not a political person. I deal with economic issues and issues of humanity. That's me. When you take into consideration the behavior of our politicians throughout the Caribbean, you will discover that we have broken down socially. We have a social meltdown in the entire Caribbean, maybe in the world, but in the entire Caribbean. And that is coming out of the behavior of our politicians in office and out of office, namely the political platform, the way they behave. Now, if our citizens are to pay attention and to follow the behavior, you find yourself gravitating to the attitudes of these people because they are leaders and you're going to follow them. Now, if the citizens are following that pattern, it will bring a certain behavior to the children under the control of these parents, taking into consideration what happened in that fire with the cell phone. There is an indiscipline, and that indiscipline is right across the board. Now, I am charging our political directorates for the behavior, these kinds of behavior, because it lends itself to what is happening not only in Guyana, but in Grenada in recent time. We have a number of those things. In St. Vincent, in St. Lucia, in Dominica, in Barbados, in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, we have the same thing. So where is it coming from? And so I want to ask our leaders, once again, pay attention to what is happening to the citizens, because we are breaking down socially. And if we don't address it now, we will not have leaders to manage or to take care of the management of the Caribbean. Please take note, because this is damaging the citizens. And we are going to pay a heavy price if our politicians do not address this thing very seriously to change the ways and attitude as it relates to governing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. You too. You too, caller. 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. 435-2041. That's the number to call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. I want to maybe respond to your caller. You want to know where things coming from? Coming from Satan, because we push God out of society. We push God out of our schools. We push him out of our families. We push him out of our communities, our neighborhoods, our household. So when you push God out, who do you expect to come in? The devil. I remember once watching a video where there was delivering a woman, and the demon in her said he was Lucifer. And one of the things he said was, when they didn't want God, they didn't want when they hear the word of God, they reject it. So it's He they want. So once they want Him, so each time they make the statement and they reject God, He enter. But he didn't say He said we enter. And so that woman was possessed since she was a baby. So Satan, when we leave God out, if we do not bring God back into our individual and collective societal life, Satan is going to continue. And on a second point, the Bible tells you these are what's going to take place. God told us in advance what's going to happen. So we have to pray, we have to repent. God is calling Grenada. And I'm really hearing it, I'm really saying it. God is calling Grenada to repentance, but nobody paying heed. So what has to happen will happen because we ignore God, we push Him out, and we don't want Him, so the devil take over. Okay. Have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, caller. Have a great one yourself. It's 23 minutes, just turned 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go back to the telephone line and say, all right, we lost that caller. All right, Lawrence Alexis, and I agree the news is wrongly given. IMF said make this the last one, but the news is stating that like they are saying stop now. Cindy Philip says, so pay your taxes. All right, Cynthia Bay says good morning. Ann Jackson, who will plant it? No one. Instead, green tree bring faster money. Oh, I don't understand that one. All right, let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Greetings. How are you?
I am alive and
I trust that all is well with you. Pop up your ears for what I'll say this morning, you know.
Okay.
I must indeed say, the matter I shall speak about is not current in your list this morning, but it's a matter which came up a couple of weeks ago. And of course, it's in the news. And this is just additional information. Mr. Joseph, in a certain language, there is a saying that is interpreted as follows. Societies normally love the good that trustworthiness brings. The only enemies to trustworthiness are the demagogues. You know what a demagogue is?
I am certain you would
Well, you
tell
must
me.
investigate it. Let's not waste time. They pay attention to societies normally love trustworthiness because listen, most decent systems in this world are built on trustworthiness. They function because people can confide in others to get things done, get them done early, get them on time with excellence in the finish. Truth, honesty. But anytime you invite a demagogue to that party, he doesn't want to be there. Check it out. But let's get to the meat of the matter. A couple of weeks ago, Mr. Joseph, there was an invitation on your radio station, because the only one in Grenada I listen to. You should be pleased about that.
Yes, I am.
Inviting the Grenadian pub around St. George's River and so on to the St. Paul's Community Center, where a forum, you know these little things happen, where a forum was being held, presented by the Grenada National Council for the Disabled and the St. Paul's Sports, Cultural and Development Organization. I got a lift, and the brother who took me there, thank you very much, my dear brother. We learned a lot of things. But here it is, Mr. Joseph. That took place a week ago, on Thursday the 25th, the evening of Thursday the 25th. Very interesting things came out there. But strange enough, there was no representation of the media there. And there are things that came out of that forum that Grenadians have to know about. First invitation, Mr. Joseph, to you. It's as if you can get some information from the said council, because I reckon that they recorded everything. There was a nice setup there and so on. But something came from a prominent legal luminary of our country, and I will call his name because it's public. Subject Ruggles Ferguson. Legal luminary, constitution guru, outstanding barrister, lawyer, whatever, attorney. He informed the gathering that in his investigative preparatory work, for his presentation on the laws of Grenada as it relates to the population with disabilities, he sought to find out what the Grenada National Council for the Disabled had to do legally, legitimately with the issue. And he found nothing. I have the recording, but it's blurred with background noises, so I can't play it. You wouldn't hear it. I would like to suggest, therefore, that you get in touch with Mr. Rogers Ferguson, because he loves this sort of thing, and it's important because we believe what he says. A lot of us believe what he says. For 10 or 15 minutes in the morning, and he's a pro on Zoom contact. He's a pro on that. As we say in Grenada, he's bad on that. Try to get him on any one of these mornings, 10 to 15 minutes, and let him tell the Grenadian people, the national population, what he discovered about the Grenada National Council for the Disabled. Okay. This reputable organization for almost 40 years. And the Grenadian people will decide then, if or not, in effect, as this crazy blind jackass have been saying for how many years now? 11 years. That the truth come from a reputable lawyer in this here country. This is my request to you, Mr. Joseph. And let me end by saying this. I made a statement yesterday morning which seemed to have irked a lot of people. But let me tell you all something. No one can stop me. You will probably censure me. S-U-R-E. Censure. In other words, you can criticize me as much as you want because you don't want to hear what I have to say and my tone, etc. But you can't censor me in Grenada, S-O-R at the end. You can't censor me. I have a right to say what I want to express my views. You want to refute what I say with your facts. But don't worry about me, whether I, squander my life or not. The only thing in this here country that no one can accuse me of is being a thief, nor a homosexual. For the individual who's throwing these things to me, but I squandered my life. I don't want to get personal, but don't aim at me. Hey, what tell you, my brother? Okay. Have a nice day, will you, Mr. Joseph, for what it's worth?
You too, Citizen Rolo. Have a great day yourself. 30 minutes after 7 o'clock. My Grenada. Such a place, huh? All right, Alistair Warwood Sr. says they were found sleeping under a mango tree. The police call us for help in finding these missing teenagers, and when they are found, that is all we hear, that the police isn't even saying thanks. Please give us a little more to go on. Someone has to be prosecuted for harboring these minors. I agree with this. Let's take a call before we head to the break. Good morning.
Morning, Joseph, and how are you?
I am alive and thankful. Welcome.
Well, my mind is not there because you know why? Children must learn from the time they come into the world and they start going to ages. Mothers and fathers must talk to their children, tell them what is right and what is wrong in the world. What is child doing 15 years old? Why? The lives have taken. So many people lost their life. Fire is your worst enemy. And if you try to take away the life from someone with fire, then what would you do? Hellfire come for you in heaven? You don't want to go to hell because hellfire is real, you know. The fire didn't get on earth. What you get in heaven, when the day of judgment come, you will be burning in an everlasting fire. They're turning you up and down, and you're feeling the heat like if you're on earth. So people remember, fire is a very dangerous weapon. Now look at all these children who lost their life. You think it's how I cry for children because I hear when people do things to try, it hurt my heart. Know that children suffering from the crime that the people committing with them in the world. You commit a crime now, you have to face the trial. They have to treat you as an adult. I never knew you was that young. They put it in the school to take 19 lives. That lost little one, I cried this morning, I tear for that child. Lost her life at the age of 13 in the hospital, known from fire. Mothers and fathers, pray for your sons and daughters. Let them know what is right and what is wrong from the time they come into the world, and they could learn and know, have sense. Tell them the right thing and the wrong thing. You must know. Love is patient and kind. We have to love one another. Jesus said love. He said, if you don't love me, you don't love your neighbors, you don't love me. Love your neighbors. Give thanks to God. No, don't cut me off yet. I already tell you something about the children in the world, that they have love for their mother and must have love for them. Mothers take care of your children, sons and daughters. Tell them what is right and what is wrong. Let them go the right way. They will know when they go, let them know what to face and what they face in the world. You don't go taking lives that you cannot give. The last time in 2018, 17 lives go to the earth. 17 go to the hospital, they're gone. Children afraid they're gone. They can't go to school because they're afraid they're gone. because it's the devil, Satan himself. Be away from the devil and turn to God and pray. Accept Jesus, your personal Lord and Savior. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Without him, we are lost in the world. And the morning reading says about love. Tell your neighbors you love them. Tell your children and daughters, sons and daughters you love them. Love is patient and kind.
Okay.
It's not just, it's not pompous, it's not rude, it's not inflated. It does not break our entry, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and enjoys all things. So love your neighbors and keep living with the love that God gives to you. He says love one another. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay, folks, tell you what we do. We take a commercial break. It's 27 minutes on to the 8 o'clock hour. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
Rock the box, we say, yeah. GBN, we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday. It's a
Tune in to GBN Television and Classic Radio on May 31st at 7 p.m. for another thought-provoking and intellectually stimulating edition of the ECCB's 40th Anniversary Lecture Series, which is being held under the theme, The Colorful Economy. Join Chairman of the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Committee, Mr. Richard Duncan, OBE, and Chairman of Antillian Inc., Dr. Angus Friday, MD, MBA, as they discuss medical tourism, prerequisites and prospects, blue, orange, and green economies. The Grenada edition of the ECCB's 40th Anniversary Lecture Series will be moderated by media personality and event host, Miss Brenda Batiste. This highly anticipated lecture series is for everyone, from tourism planners, workers, and investors, as well as medical practitioners and tourists alike. If you have an interest in developing medical tourism right here at home, or would simply like to learn more about the growing industry, then be sure to catch what will likely be a lively discussion. Due to limited space at the venue, you are encouraged to join virtually by tuning in to GBN Television and Classic Radio or via the ECCB Connect Facebook page or YouTube channel.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV as we discuss a topic close to the heart of our Caribbean people and hear the experiences from the leading experts in the region about heart disease, the major contributing factors, what to look for, and why we are seeing heart attacks in younger men and women. Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's 23 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. Let's head back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent. I know you are Joseph, but by any chance, are you related to Job? Because you really have patience. I must say, you get a medal for patience.
Thanks to mommy. Thanks to granny.
I hear you. But on a more serious note, yesterday I heard a caller referring to Mr. Rolo and his gross disrespect. And then another caller who is very disrespectful on all radio stations called and was trying to defend his behavior. A general courtesy demands that you say good morning, good night, good evening. And I am telling you, I'm pleading with you, if your callers cannot call and say good morning or good night, you need to just cut them off. Set some protocols and put protocols in place.
Okay.
Have a good day, will you?
Thanks. Have a good one yourself, all right? Oh, my goodness. 22 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Morning, innocent, and morning to your listeners. I hope I can get cut off. Anyway. But overnight I was thinking, after I heard part of the news last night, about the young woman in Guyana who now charged with 19 counts of murder and maybe other stuff. I was thinking about it, that it looked very bizarre. I mean, it looked very gruesome. I mean, awful. But we allow other situations to go without questioning or even condemning. We have a situation in the world where, for instance, thousands and thousands of lives were lost, and over $2 trillion. It cost over $2 trillion in a senseless war in Afghanistan. We have the situation in Iraq, even still Libya. I mean Syria, where this senseless act of aggression was inflicted on those people, and we see that nothing. I mean, we have to see any act of aggression or unnecessary loss of life as what it is, criminal. We wouldn't dare ask for the trial of Obama or Bush or Blair, but we're asking for the trial of Vladimir Putin. Or we wouldn't even ask for for what is happening right now. When you look at what is happening in Sudan, nobody concerned about what is happening in Sudan, but we were concerned about what happening in Ukraine over a year ago. People were literally crying in my ears. Now nobody is crying for the people in Sudan. So we have favorite wars, and we have favorite when it comes to certain acts. It's like, for instance, the fundamentalist people are concerned about who people go to bed with. But they don't care how the resources of the world is used or misused.
Okay.
I mean, we need to wake up. This world is going to, well, I don't want to use the word that other people say, hell in a handbasket, or we have really gone there. And unless people, understand, we are being duped or doped into senseless loud noise, which we call music, and we are not being enlightened to see what's in front of us.
Okay.
I mean, it's sad. I mean, when I listen, even this station, the senseless conversation that goes on, I mean, it's ridiculous in this age when we had the facility or the possibility of engaging each other in uplifting conversation and also the sharing of information, knowledge, wisdom.
What do you mean by that statement, though, caller? Senseless conversations. What conversations would you deem as senseless?
What? The evidence is there. I'm not going to go into debate. I mean, we could examine it, go and examine all the senseless conversation. I'm not saying that every conversation on the radio is sensational. A lot of times senseless, meaningless. It is there. What I'm saying is that, and I'm not referring to your program necessarily, I'm saying generally, I have noticed sometimes we're talking about, about the issue of alcohol and that kind of thing, and before we could finish talking, we're advertising the same thing. To me, that is senseless. So what I'm saying is that let us be meaningful. Look, one of the major challenges that is facing us right now, the challenge of the season, the hurricane season. We ain't doing anything to get our people to prepare. I don't mean frighten, but we're not doing because people. When I speak to people, oh, they don't happen because God is a Grenada and all this nonsense. But let me just say one thing. I don't want to miss that part. The thing about the IMF. Again, the IMF is part of the killing machine. They prescribe and Rosette Song have taught us a long time ago what the IMF is. The IMF prescribes things that kills people. Why you should be listening to the wife is part of the imperialist design. Part of the Bretton Woods establishment after the World War II is to keep countries under control, keep you in perpetual debt.
Okay.
So we went into our program in the IMF rather than hold those people who guarantee, unnecessary debt to criminals, which we had to pay right now, up to now, to what we call the national debt. These are things we need to examine. And I'm not too sure we're doing those things, and it really disturbs me quite a bit that, we could help our people understand the intricacy of the world, and we're not. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. All right, it's 16 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And Paul says, the parents giving the kids too much freedom. Like the kids acting like parents and the parents acting like kids. Because they're going and coming like they want. I couldn't do that in my younger days. Well, do it in your older days now. Good morning, caller.
Joseph, don't let people tell your children about kids. Stop telling the children kids. They are not kids, they are children of God. Joseph, I want you to do this thing for me. Play Jonathan Nelson's song, I Believe. Not play it at all. Do some of his songs for me. And Waymaker by Sinner. You must play these songs. They are regular songs we used to honey here with Blossom. Jonathan Nelson is a very good singer, and he has lots of songs. Play some of his songs when you come on.
Okay, caller. 15 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sweetheart. How are you doing?
I am fine. How about you?
I'm fine, man.
Nice.
I prepared smokering this morning.
Shut up. As Randy Isaac said in song, you're too provokeful, eh? Although we know the right word is provocative, but
I don't call nobody name.
When you come telling me about smoking this morning for you,
I don't call nobody name. Listen, some people telling you to do something. Don't do that, man. If somebody does say money, you want that. You have bigger things to worry about. Don't cut them off. Some people don't encourage people to do a lot of wrong things, And if you do it to my office guy, they call it and say, oh, we cut off the woman.
I have learned in my years, I have learned in recent times that you try to do what is right? There are some things that are generally considered right and what is wrong. And I stop live to, to let me.
I like that. I like how you don't handle it. Don't worry. I don't tell them. I don't shame. They could say what they want about me. That is cutting to the talk, not what you eat or killing you.
Yeah. but on a serious note, a contentious issue with me is I think that as a people, we need to have some respect for authority. Those in authority, all right? Not necessarily, if you don't want to respect the person, but the office that they hold. I listened to some comments yesterday when Senator Cox was on the program. I don't usually listen to radio, but for some reason I listened yesterday, and I was a bit disturbed with the mannerism of engaging him.
I agree. I agree that.
It doesn't matter your political affiliation or proclivity to me. What is important is common respect to one another. I mean, in this day and age, if we are to teach our children right, we have to. My good friend sang it in song, lead by example.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot be disrespecting officials.
And you want respect.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, let me give me a little point here because you see you want to finish my credit. Let me tell you something. With the IMF, sometimes two people could listen to the same story, but we hear different.
Your interpretation.
I find the IMF encouraging the Grenadian people to take the opportunity that the government give them now. Because if they tell them, don't do it again, oh God, you have how much money to pay, they tell you, well, look, that it is a good deal, take it. Right? I didn't hear they say, don't do that again. Like they're trying to tell you, this one implement already, but they're asking them, don't implement another one.
Right.
But some people hear it like, if, differently. I don't know what they in their mind, but that is what I understand. And if I, in this position, owe the government tax, I will try my best to pay it before the time up. Because it's up. So some of us does hear differently. You hear, Papa? Have a good day.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too.
Good. All right. One of my contributors on the WhatsApp platform, my good friend, says, good morning, Innocent. Good morning to your followers. I am a bit puzzled. I don't know if it's GBN that confused me or if it's the IMF lady. However, it is said that over the last year, or words to that effect with reference to the first quarter of last year, there has been success in collecting taxes. How is it that $600 million is still being owed to the government? Additionally, the same people who caused the attrition policy resulting in no new persons being hired are now saying to increase personnel to collect taxes. Tell the IMF the amnesty is only on the penalties and it's only for 1 year. It's up to the citizens now to fulfill their responsibilities. Thank you, my good friend. All right, thank you very much. Okay, good morning, Innocent. Kindly tell your news crew to take the cameras to the street to get news. At St. John Street, a new dumping site is being developed. It's in an area where a derelict building was demolished. And moreover, higher up, a vagrant picks up boxes, etc., and dumps them in another area close to the building. The police should be on the ball and look out for the dumpers and charge them. They know how to curse people. They should know to not litter. Okay, someone is trying to call via the WhatsApp platform, but we don't accept, we do not have that commodity. All right. Yeah. So that is the time, 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. As I was saying, I think as a people, we ought to, you can be angry with someone and still talk calmly and not be disrespectful. You see, anger is a normal human emotion. So you're supposed to get angry at times, but it's how you deal with it, And I think as a people, we could be a little more respectable to fellow mankind. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I just want to get you on the program, please.
Go right ahead. You're there.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the program.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Good morning.
I just want to say that I listened to the news yesterday about the launch of the St. David's Carnival.
Uh-huh.
And it's very surprising that in the year when everybody talks about traditional mass, you can see traditional mass from Victoria prancing on the street in St. David's. And St. David's are one of the only Wild Indian band from Coles Gap. And they knew nothing about that launch. So does the Maple band from Bel Air and the Houstons.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to know who are the people on this committee. And they even promising the other parish that they will make representation when at their opening. I find it very strange.
Yeah.
Even the Prime Minister in his speech was talking about traditional mass and the support they need. And I mean, it's astonishing. It's unbelievable that one of the only Wild Indian man, not the only but the only Wild Indian man on this side of the island, doesn't know that the St. David's Carnival is being launched.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
I mean, so I would like to know the committee, what kind of work they do. What kind of... Is that about to say that we launch just to invite us in that big dignitary day?
Yeah. I know the comment that I want to join in with you, because, and it might create a problem. When I'm driving through St. David, they might stone me, but it's a fact. I'm in the media, and I did not get an official something stating that, Carnival is being launched on that time, and I was in doubt whether, yes, it's happening or not. I think more could have been done, but it's a work in progress.
But the point I'm making is that you were able to go quite in Victoria. The point I'm making is that you were able to go quite in Victoria and bring down vehicle from Victoria. And the Wild Indian band is right there in Coles Gap, right at your doorstep. And they didn't know about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks for your concern, man. All right.
Yeah.
Blessings. 7 minutes away from 8 o'clock. And Rose Forrester Brizan says, Innocent, tell this lady when she can't get across eatables to me, don't talk about it in public. Who she come teasing with smoke herring? Oh God, tell her send some. Yeah, steady and gripe. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Mr. Bido, how you do?
I just easy. Listening.
What happened to your phone, man? Your phone noisy.
Well, that's how life goes.
Okay.
We have to take life as
how it comes. All right.
Not how we want it.
Good.
We'll be unhappy. Yes, a question I want to ask you.
Talk to me.
The Subis, they get missing. When I say Subis, not across by Greenville, the dead they get missing. The name is Subis. Is that the one that used to be on the Grenada?
Yes. Well, there are so many of them now, but he's one of them.
Yeah, and I think he was his parents from Dabo.
I do not know.
He's a black fellow.
Okay.
Well, that's the only Subis I really know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Mr. Rolo talked good this morning. Well, I would say he talked in my part, so...
Okay.
so I'll leave it there right now.
Right, good.
All right. So
have a good one.
Good day, and God bless you.
God bless you too, eh?
All right.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much.
All right. Magdalene Andrews says... Let me go back there. Okay. Good morning to my family and the Grenadian people. Love you all. Okay, love you too, Magdalene. Sylvina Charles, good morning, Innocent. When we call child kids, that is why they behave like that. God did not make little goats. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Okay, Paula Paul said, Mr. Innocent, you might need a bodyguard. Please, come and guard me, okay? Come and protect me. All right, don't let them harm me, all right? I'm seeing my good friend Elimus, Inspector Hitman Hurricane Gilbert. He says, good morning, Innocent. Greetings from Sutton. Specky, you here, boy? Hey, well, you need to link up, eh? You need to represent. Good morning, caller.
God did not make little goats.
You need to turn down the volume, please.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Joseph. How are you this morning?
I am alive and very thankful. How about you?
Alive and thanking God for life, just like yourself. Now, I would like to ask the question this morning. It's a very deep question I'm asking because it is disturbing to me. You know, every second Grenadian child I meet today, and I ask them, what would you like to be when you grow up, when you leave school? They want to be either a doctor or a lawyer. I say, fine, good, if you have the passion for it, if you're called for it, that's God's plan for your life. But then I ask again, but why do you want to be a doctor or a lawyer? Basically, just sit down in an office and make a lot of money. You don't have to work hard. Say, wow, that's a problem. Young people don't want to work hard anymore. But sometimes I tend to tell them, I say, but there are exciting other careers out there that you could reach you could attain doctorate in, like you have engineering, the medical field have a lot of different careers in it. Agriculture, with the food processing industry, the transportation industry, the manufacturing industry, alternative medicine, meteorology, so much of furniture and appliances, the visual arts, other arts, the shipping industry, education, and a whole lot. So what I'm saying is, we want our children to understand that every Grenadian child cannot be a doctor, a medical doctor. There are other doctorates in other areas. Every Grenadian child cannot be a lawyer. Are we saying that Grenadians are so sick that we need so many medical doctors? There's only litigation issues in the country that we need so many lawyers. So, but we need to guide our children differently so they could explore other options. And we need to, when we have this trade, this career fairs, probably in SGU or wherever they have them, expose our children to these things. But I suppose the government has to create employment opportunities, or even though we do not have all these opportunities for our children to gain employment in all these different companies, probably, but expose them, empower them, so even if they travel, they can. Yeah, but it's not just being lawyers and doctors. And let me intimidate that to you. I heard from a very reliable source that there are a lot of lawyers in St. Lucia. Young lawyers coming from law school, they're practically begging because they can't get work. The market is saturated. Could you believe that?
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah, I think in wrapping up, because we're out of time, I think it has to do with a shift in the education system and the way the curriculum is designed. I would like to see more career advisors in the schools, get into the children at an earlier age to see what direction they're going, exposing them to the multiplicity of careers that are out there, and take it from there. But we're out of time.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Always. Love you always. Bye-bye, right?
Love you, okay.
All right, love you. Bye-bye. Good. All right, my good friend Hakeem says, blessed morning, Brother Innocent. Looking forward to connecting with you via the airwaves. Hakeem, we have to link up next week. You have to come in and sit down and talk with us. Folks, there are so many things that we can be proud of in Grenada, or as a matter of fact, we can tie this into what the caller just highlighted. It's not about the days when parents should be telling their children to, get this white collar job. These days are gone. All right, the doctors, the lawyers, the policemen, the teachers, the bankers and so forth. Yeah, these are good career paths as well. But in terms of accomplishments, you can accomplish in any field that you choose. Agriculture is no longer a dirty business. So too the performing arts. This is a typical example. Hakeem gave a performance on Saturday night, right? And those of you who, like me, have been exposed to international performances, he was on par with any international act. These are things that we can be proud of. We definitely can. Folks, we're out of time. All right. Hakeem had a superb performance on Saturday along with Luciano. Before we run up, hello, good morning, Innocent. Today is World No Tobacco Day. Please encourage your listeners to observe. All right. No eating of tobacco today, all right? Okay. And good morning, Innocent. I just want to send my condolences to the family of Kim Maxwin. She was a lovely person. Send me some more information. I'm a Maxwin likewise. Who is Kim Maxwin? All right, WhatsApp me. Give me some more information on that. Okay, so those of you on the Facebook platform, thanks. All will soon want to be only involved in the performing. Choose your calling, choose your calling. I love farming. I love the media. I love singing. I love teaching. You choose anyone, Moni Williams, have a fantastic and wonderful day, Mr. Innocent. I enjoyed the morning. Thank you very, very much. Moni, this one is for you. Also to you, Paula Paul, have a great day. And Ernesto Jose, I hate the fact that when we push the motive of working hard and not smart, we should work smart, then hard, as we've been told. Arthur Langine, good morning. Yeah, well, you're late, but we're going to link up otherwise. Folks, we've got to run up. We've got to join the BBC. Thank you for being a part of the program this morning. As always, mwah, I love you. Bye-bye.